each month. See the public note-taking doc. Vanille, maybe post it again because the new people come on. I'm not sure if they always get to see how they get to see back in the chat. So just paste it there. Again, roll call, sign in, and if you've got a quick share out, put it in that listed bullet points, and we will go from there. So we're doing things a little bit differently, and I think as we talked about over the last 4 or 5 of these, Vanille and I are experimenting with ways to make these calls more valuable, more useful, more engaging, so on and so forth. Normally we have updates, and we'll probably go back to having some spoken updates from some of our core groups like Interledger Foundation, Findboss, etc. But we've also want more demos, we want more share outs, we want more community deep dives, and we're starting to sort of see and pay attention to our own stuff, to everybody's stuff. There's a lot of exciting updates that are coming on the technical front and others, pretty fast and furious over these last few weeks and months. So we want to make sure that this space and time, we can slow down, we can do some demos, we can share some things. So in the spirit of that today, we're not doing our regular share outs. You can see there in the public notes that Adrian from Findboss, as well as the team from Interledger, have put some pretty meaty text updates there. In fact, I think there's some real good updates from Findboss about where they are with some of the regulation stuff. So I would highly encourage you to check that out and see that, and you have access to that document all the time. But today we're going to actually go a little bit deeper on 3 things. So we normally have a Rafiki update. This one's supercharged. So we're going to start with there, talking a little bit about the alpha release and the updates in Rafiki. We're also going to have the folks that have been working on the Testnet demo and talk about that. So those are some 2 big exciting pieces that are coming to the Interledger ecosystem. And then we're going to go a deep dive with our friends and grantees at Kult, who just wrapped up the phase 1 of their research and development. You can see their final report, which we'll post into the doc so that you have it, and they'll be presenting about where they are and their plans for moving forward. So without me babbling just even another 20 seconds, I believe I'm kicking it over to Sabine, who's going to give us a pretty meaty update walkthrough about where we are with Rafiki, sitting here today in this call in early May. Go ahead.
Thank you, Chris. I was told to do a demo, so I'll do a demo, and I hope that demo gods are with me. Let's see, sharing the screen.
Demo gods and the understanding that demos are tricky gods are in cahoots to make this go well for you.
Okay, can you guys see my screen? Shouldn't be much there. Are we good?
Yes, we're good.
Yes.
Thank you. This will be a very non-front-endy kind of demo. It's still a lot of terminal and a lot of just bare API requests happening, since Rafiki doesn't really have much of a front end. But since we have the Alpha 1 now, we actually do have a small front end component, which is the admin UI that I'll show you. So Alpha didn't have that, and we put that into the Alpha 1. Okay, so it is a demo that is somewhat similar to the one that I already did at the summit. But we have some, obviously, I mean, it has been almost half a year since the summit, so there are some additions to that. And yeah, I'll just go ahead and get started, and then I'll point out the things that we have included. So I'll show the local environment again, and the local environment by default uses Tiger Beetle for their for the balance accounting logic, but we do have the alternative to use Postgres for balance accounting now too, since Tiger Beetle isn't production ready just yet. They should be in not too much time, but since they are not yet ready, we have Postgres too. So if we just do the normal local and I forgot the PNPM local and start, this will do the Tiger Beetle version of it, but if you add the PSQL in here, you'll actually get the Postgres version. So I'll do the tiger beetle because I'm always doing that, and I'm afraid that something is going to break if I do the other one. But it shouldn't. And then it starts tiger beetle first. Well, actually, it creates some network first, and then it starts the tiger beetle Docker containers. And then we have, again, 2 versions of Rafiki running in the local environment that peer automatically. So we have we came up with some fake names here. So we have Cloud9 Wallet and we have Happy Life Bank. Both of them have the Rafiki backend, the Rafiki auth service running, and we have a mock account servicing entity for both of them. That's basically like, think of your like wallet provider, just a very ugly version of that, something to show that there's actually accounts there. And we have the admin UI running for both of them. And then the databases, they actually share in the local environment. So there is a database instance, just one running, and the Happy Life Bank and Cloud9 Wallet both have a database in those instances. Okay, so let me just show you the mock account provider first. So that should be, I think it's 3030. That hasn't changed much since I last showed that. So we have 3 accounts on Cloud9 Wallet that are pre-funded in the local environment. And then on, I think 3031 is the other one that has 2 accounts that are also pre-funded, at least to some extent. And if you click on those, you won't see anything, but as soon as any open payments transactions have happened, they'll show up here and it'll say like when it happened, whether it was an incoming or an outgoing payment, the amount, and if there was a description, also display the description. Now the interesting and new part, the admin UI. Looks like this. It's not complete yet, so we're still working on that, and we have an item in our roadmap to extend that. So what we have right now is you can display peers and create new peers. So this is the admin UI of Cloud9 Wallet. It has one peer that is Happy Life Bank. And we can, if you click on that, you get all the information. We can actually Happy Life Bank, change the name here real quick, and it will update that. You could change the auth tokens for peering, all of these things. And now if we go back, the name actually shows up here as the name of the peer. And this peer is, like, we're peering with that one in USD with a scale of 2. That's the only asset that is created in the local environment, like, and when we spin that up right now. But we can just go ahead and create another asset. I'm in Europe, so I use Euro. That also has a scale of 2. And then the withdrawal threshold is basically like how much does there need to be such that you can withdraw something, but it's not required, so you can leave that empty and you can withdraw whatever. It's created, and here we go. We have a second one of assets. I'd have to do that on the other side now too, to start a peering relationship in Euro as well. But yeah, that's basically what we have on the admin dashboard right now. Things that we want to add in the future are creation of payment pointers, and then also all of those liquidity events that are happening right now that Rafiki is sending as webhooks. We want to have a view of those and then be able to deposit or withdraw money from the account provider into Rafiki using the admin UI. Okay, so I guess that was the most exciting part of that demo. But I'll show you some small changes that we did to our Postman collection too. So I'm pretty sure this is probably too small. see. So we did restructure that a little bit, and we have that linked in our docs. That's that part that I'm showing right here is in the examples. The examples part is the e-commerce example. That's the one that I showed at the summit. I think we added one GET request to that, but it's very similar. We do have all of the API endpoints in that Postman collection now, so it is complete. We have all of the admin GraphQL endpoints that you can call using Postman. We have the open payments ones, and we have the auth ones. And then, yeah, just one example so far, but we potentially are gonna create more in that folder. So yeah, let me just walk you through that again for those of you that haven't seen that before. So just to set the stage, imagine that there is some sort of e-commerce shop that, and you're going through a checkout flow. The first thing that's happening is the shop is creating it's requesting a grant to create an incoming payment on its own account. So let me do that. The grant is granted right away because this is non-interactive. So the only thing that the person requesting the grant has to do is obviously sign the request because we're using the GNAP protocol. And with that, the grant is automatically linked to a certain client that identified itself with its key. And hence, the grant can be granted right away. So when I did this demo during the summit or at the summit, I think I mentioned that we weren't really doing the signatures just yet because we hadn't figured out all of the integrating part with the auth server. That is done now. So we actually here have a pre-request to a signature service that I forgot to mention earlier. So when we look here, there's also the signatures one. This service is there to create signatures for the Postman requests because we couldn't get signatures and like signing to work within Postman. So Postman is asking that service to create the signature, and once it has created the signature, it will do the request. This is all for demonstration purposes. If you wanted to do open payments requests in your backend, we do have an open payments SDK that Max has introduced in the previous community call, and this will do all the signature generation for you. So you don't need that service to be running. It's purely for Postman because Postman can do signatures, and it's like for the purpose of the demo. So the signatures are being generated, and then the requests are made. So I think I already did the grant request, so I can create the incoming payment for 3364, and then I'll do the grant request for the quote. That's something that has changed now too. Previously, we have had quotes and outgoing payments kind of bundled, which at least in my mind never really made sense, but we had it anyways, and now we decided to unbundle the grant request and make the quote grant request also non-interactive. We had some reasons for having it interactive at first, or at least we thought we had, but then we talked it through and we realized it's not really a reason, so we were able to make those non-interactive too. So you get your grant and your access token for a quote request right away, and you can create a quote. And then the nice thing about that now is that you can actually use that quote when displaying the the interactive part of the grant request for an outgoing payment. So if you do the grant request for an outgoing payment now, you don't get the grant right away, but you need to do an interaction step first. It will give you a redirect URL, and this is our version of consent screen. And it's still the same one that I had at the summit. Nobody ever spent any minute on this, developing it further. We should probably, but it's very, it's way down our backlog. And I consented. I get this interaction reference here, and I can put it into my continuation request for the outgoing payment. And hopefully, get a grant for outgoing payment. And then I can create the outgoing payment. It has a send amount of 35.65, hasn't sent anything. But now if I go and get the outgoing payment, it has sent the amount. So that's, like I said, it's the same demo that I've done before, with the addition of the signatures now actually being present and being checked. I think that is mainly it for the demo. I also just want to point out that something else that we've been working on, and that isn't in a nice format yet, is docs. But at least we have some where we didn't have any before. So it's most of the docs are still within the Rafiki GitHub repository in the docs folder. There's a list of docs now, but Max is actually currently working on pulling that all into a docusaurus and making this much nicer. We're also still working on the content of the docs. So this is basically this is more of a brain dump, and now we're working on docs. Is the long story short. Yeah, I think this is the demo. I know we have two other people that want to talk after me, so I think I'll just stop here. I would take questions if I'm allowed to, if we have time.
Well, let's take one. We've been doing a good job, Max and others, answering questions in the chat. And we do have one from Patrick, who's going to be speaking, or part of the team that's speaking later. So I'll give him the chance to ask a question now, even though he knows that he's got to reserve some time. Go ahead, Patrick.
Sorry, guys, it was by mistake. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Well, then there we go. No worries about that. So we're going to go over to our next demo, which is from the Breakpoint team. And we're going to be looking at where we are at with the testnet and getting some stuff that people can start to play and experiment with. So, Tamaya, I think that's you, right?
Yes, that's me. That's me. So yeah, I will start. As you all know, Testnet is an open source test application for Rafiki, basically a Rafiki playground. And a few community calls ago, I had a short presentation and I gave you a first glimpse of the Testnet designs and some features we wanted to develop. So today is the day I show you what we have been doing and to show you Testnet in action. We already have some core features up and running, so I want you to see them. I will share my screen. And please let me know when you see it.
It is notoriously slow, but it is going now. So you are good.
Great. Okay. So what you want to do when you are using Testnet for the very first time is, of course, to create an account. So let's start with that. I will create a demo account. And I will not use this strong password, or yeah, maybe I can use it. It's okay. So my account was created. And I need to log in. And the password was not saved. Yes, correct. Okay, I just go back quickly and do this again without using that password. And let's do another email so I don't have issues and other options. No, choose my own password. Yes, thank you. Okay, now we are good to go. And my demo test. Yeah, I see that. My demo. And when we log in right now, first of all, we want to have to complete the KYC. We are using Rapid for the KYC, and we are in a sandbox environment right now. So we are using Denmark for testing purposes. Some of the data is already filled in. Why we are using Denmark is because it in Rapid, Denmark is allowed to have multiple currencies, not just USD or not just Euro. So that's why Denmark is selected for testing purposes, and we just have to fill in the first name and the last name. So we have verified our identity. We have the ID proof already uploaded for the passport and everything. So you just have to verify your account, and we can go to our account overview. Hello, demo test. Everything is empty, so let's create a new account. The assets here are coming from the Rafiki admin. So you can choose an asset here. And create your account. Account created. Here is your account without any payment pointer. So let's add a payment pointer. We have our first payment pointer. Multiple payment pointers can be added, so that is not an issue. But only a single account of a specific currency can be added. So you cannot have multiple USD accounts. Now we have 2 payment pointers for this USD account. We can fund the account with play money. So this is not real money. This is sadly only play money. So let's add some money here. Okay, so we have money. These are the core features that you need to do when setting up your account. And of course, after that, you can play around with sending money. That's the whole reason we are here. So let's do that. I am already logged in with another account. Can you see the other account? Or just the main one? Can you see my Firefox or just, okay, great. So I have here a Hello John Doe account, and I have here a demo test account. And this is the mobile view, and this will be the desktop view. What is the first thing we can do here is to send some money. So sending money requires payment pointer. And we can go to the other account and just grab, let's do online shopping payment pointer, just grab it from here. And I will select from which account I want to send, from which payment pointer I want to send, and to whom I want to send it to. This is the other account's payment pointer. I want to send an amount of 200. Okay, so someone is not seeing.
Yeah, I was also already unmuting myself to tell you. I just see the one side.
Let me just switch presenting. Maybe I'm just presenting one browser. 1 second. And I think this will be the full screen right now. Yes, okay. So sorry about that. Now you can see both of them. So again, here is my other account with the mobile view. So this is John Doe, someone else I am logged in with. And John Doe has an account in USD with an online shopping payment pointer that I just copied and pasted into this field to send some money to John Doe. It is very important here that there's a switch here with sent and received. Sent means that you are sending 200 dollars, and if there are any fees, you are not paying them. John Doe is paying them. Received means that you are paying all of the fees, the taxes, and John Doe will not be paying them. So let's see. I sent you 200, and I am leaving this to send. That means that if I check here, it's already been deducted. And if I view the payment pointer, it sent 200 USD. The other account, when they receive the money, they should be receiving less because we have now set up some fees. So this is still pending. And while it's pending, it's 0. So we will wait for that to finish. And let's do, in the meantime, another sending. But right now, I will switch this to received. So this account will pay the taxes. And I will send it to the same payment pointer, still an amount of 200. And I am paying taxes. And this is demo. Send the money. So if we go to our account, we can see right now, to view transactions, I paid more. I still sent 200, but I paid some taxes. So this is the difference between that switch sent and received. Let's see right here if this user received some money. So it's still pending, but until we finish this demo, it will be completed. The other thing you can do here is to request some money. Request money means that you are requesting to an account for this payment pointer an amount of, let's say, 400. I need $400. And you are requesting this money. Right now, that means that an incoming payment is generated. Here is the link for the incoming payment, and you can copy this incoming payment and share it with someone, and that way they can send you the money. This will probably change in the future. Right now, it's with this pop-up, and I copied this link, and I can use it here to pay money. So we are now on the pay menu point. I am choosing USD account from online shopping to incoming payment URL. I will paste it here, and it appears automatically that someone requested $400, and I am paying that money. Funds paid. Okay, so already deducted from here. If we go to online shopping view, oh, so already completed the other ones and completed the sending of 400 from this account. The other account should receive 400 sometime in the future. So this is still pending. But you can see the difference here. It will receive, it's sent, and yeah, so we can wait for the money, but in the meantime, it will appear. Other stuff that we have managed to finish are some settings right now in the account. What you can change is your first name and your last name. You cannot edit the address or email because that would mean you need to complete KYC again. So only this one can be edited. Save profile. And now if we go to the home page, it's edited. Okay. And we have here, for future development, we have here the API keys. This is just like a demo page. It's not ready yet, but these will be in the next milestones. And we have grants here as well, which is, again, a demo page, a not found page. In the future development, this will also hopefully be done. Okay, and these are the core features that are ready right now. For you to see all of the issues that we are working on, or to submit if you want any other issues, you can always use Interledger Testnet. You can find here a README file if you want to run it locally. And of course, in the issues, I have already set up the next milestone issues. You can check them out here. And I think that's about it for the demo.
So you'll see Timea presenting from an IP now instead of a domain, and that's because the DNS hasn't ticked over yet, or maybe hasn't ticked over for everyone else. This is going to be available at Rafiki.money in the next 48 to 72 hours, depending on the DNS cards. Yeah, I think some people will see it at Rafiki.money now, and some people might not see it because of the DNS propagation, but it's available for everybody to play at Rafiki.money. And as Timea said, if you find issues with it, or if you have feedback for improvement, you have to understand this is the alpha version that's supposed to allow you to send payments, make transfers between each other. Please, we'd love every bit of testing you can do. And as soon as we have new releases, we have set up a release pipeline, so you'll see it being updated on a regular basis. We'll keep bringing it here to the community call next month as well to see what we've done in the meantime. We'd love your feedback. Thank you so much, Timea, Timea and the team who developed this, the team at Breakpoint, for the demo and for working on this for the past 5 months now. It's good to see 5 months of work being showcased here. Thank you so much, Timea and the team.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
All right, we've got a few questions here. I'm going to do 3. One, we'll put the links to how to start to play with it in the public note-taking docs here, and when there's updates about, we can put them there, as well as contact everyone that normally comes to this call and follows along. But Fernando asked, do we have an estimate on how long payments take to complete? Will they improve as when the testnet is completed?
We are now in sandbox environment. Sandbox environment is probably slower for the payments to be completed than production environment. I can check if the other one is finished. Yeah, this one also completed. So it depends on multiple stuff, but probably in production, it will get better.
And then, is there an estimate about when we'll be able to send actual cash?
Never. The purpose of the testnet is not to transition to real money, because we need a license, or at least a partnership with Rapid. So the testnet would always be for testing purposes, not for real cash.
All right. Well, thank you. That was exciting. I really appreciate the work and the effort into the demo. And let's keep the demo party rolling. We're going to have our community deep dive, where I'm going to invite the Kult team to get ready to present. Kult is a multiple grantee of the Interledger Foundation. In fact, they just wrapped up the phase 1 of their financial services research and development phase, and are making plans to apply to phase 2. They've sort of been at the intersection of web monetization, wallets, open payments, and integrating all of that together into their platform, their work, and their business model going forward. So I'm not exactly sure who's going to take the lead, so I'll just hand it over to the Kult team. All right, go Helena.
It's me today. Hi, guys. I'm very happy to be here. My name is Elena. I just want to make sure I can share my screen. I should share my screen then. Yeah, okay, it's me then. Good. 1 second.
You should be able to.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if it was me or someone else, but can you see my screen? Please let me know.
We will. It takes, you got to wake it up.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Okay.
All right, we're live with your screen.
Great. Okay, so this presentation, we're going to give you a brief overview of what Kult is about and how we are integrating our platform as a test platform for the Interledger protocol ecosystem as well. So Kult is a social platform that you can share movies, TV shows, podcasts, songs, and books recommendations with a community of culture lovers. This is really our essence, social curation. And this is our team today. Patrick is one of the co-founders together with me. And here we also have Thais with us. She is our CTO, and she will be presenting more specifically the technical aspects of our digital wallet. We also worked closely with Nathan, who is a Web3 advisor, because we are also positioning our platform into the Web3 ecosystem and principles. And we have Alfredo. I'm sure, I think he's with us in this call. He is our Pix digital wallet consultant, and we're very happy to have him in the team. So basically, our path up until now, we first started with a acceleration program from the Portuguese government. We're based in Portugal right now, but we're all Brazilians. And our turning point was in June 2021, as Chris said, that we are multiple grantees. So we were accepted for the second cohort of the Grant for the Web. And at this point, we were able to explore web monetization in very practical terms inside of our platform. And we did find some insights and possible evolutions for the next phase, which we just finished now, the ILP-based financial services. And I will be talking a bit about our deliverables for this phase. So essentially, just a quick overview of why we exist in terms of the business and user problems we want to solve. So in terms of business, we're focused on the algorithmization of society. So when we're talking about the internet, we know that there is the economy attention. So there are multiple platforms that are fighting for our attention. And this is not only streaming platforms, but also the social media platforms. And this leads to ineffective and impersonal recommendation systems. So this is where we're focusing on. And also in terms of the user, us, the problem is we have a paradox of choice. So there is an actual study that says that people take an average of 18 minutes to decide what to watch. On the Netflix streaming, for example, I'm sure everyone here has gone through this very frustrating experience. So the more options you have, the harder it is to choose. And that is where we come in as a solution. We are focused on the human curation of content. So this is our value proposition, to offer a space for the peer-to-peer recommendation as a decision maker when choosing content online. And the way we are going to do this, we are already doing this actually, is by being an aggregator of content from multiple platforms. So these are a few print screens from our responsive websites, and we also have an app mobile app for iOS and Android. It's more focused on the Portuguese markets, as we are contextualized in Brazil specifically. But we also have the internationalization aspect, so you can actually check it out with the main information in English as well. And it's very social, so we have a lot of interactions on our website and app. And during the grant phase, this is the most important part here, we were experimenting with two forms of web monetization for our platform. The first one were the donations. So donations to support curators you love. So you can see here a bit of how our user interface worked. You could check out the total amount that was received for your profile, and specifically how much each person was transferring to you. But in order to do that, you needed to add your payment pointer. So you needed to create an account at a digital wallet provider, ILP, such as Uphold. And also to be able to send money to someone, you needed to create an account on Coil. You need to pay a subscription, monthly subscription of $5, and also download the browser plugin. So there were many steps, many barriers. The other possibility we experimented were the monetized galleries to show appreciation. So we created this view here where you could see that this gallery was being monetized. And once you enter the gallery, you were immediately supporting this gallery, streaming payments to the person who created the gallery. But we know there were some limitations to this process. There were many UX barriers. You needed to leave the platforms in order to conduct all of these steps and then go back to Kult. So thinking of this as an experiment, we realized that we could evolve. There was potential for this technology, but we could evolve this proposal into a digital wallet that was IOP based and open source, so that any other platform can also implement. So it's important to say Kult is the test platform, but we're doing this for something that is larger than us, okay? And our main objective is to offer this frictionless experience that will help to improve the adoption of the technology. And that is open source, scalable eventually. And the main disruption that we want to bring, contextualized to our environment, which is Brazil, is the Pix. The Pix is the most popular payment method system in Brazil. It was created very recently in the end of the pandemic, so 2020, by the Brazilian Central Bank government. And it was very revolutionary for the financial market of Brazil. It's important to really reinforce this, because there are already transactions 24 billion reais just in the last year. This surpassed the amount of transactions from credit and debit cards. So in terms of digital payments, the Pix payment method is really revolutionizing the market, and it is still embryonic. So they have an open API, and they are, so there is opportunity to build on top. And this is where we're coming in. So our main deliverables for this last phase, we just finished now, was to deliver a technical document. We already have it on the Google Docs, you can check it out. That is divided into 4 parts. The first one, the project scope. The second part, some of the deliverables and team structure needed. The third part, very important, are the regulatory requirements to have a digital wallet in Brazil, in our case, and also the necessary partners, authentication partners and Pix partners, and also implementation costs. And finally, some flow charts. And also we conducted another research in terms of business to understand how we could implement, how this technology can actually become a business for our platform, which has the focus of the peer-to-peer monetization of human curation based on Web3 principles, based on ethical fair commissions, based on multi-channel marketing strategies. We brought some benchmarking as well, such as platforms like Reddit, who are already experimenting with Web3 strategies, and the concept of growth through community feedback, which is the most important. So just as we are here as a community, giving feedback and growing together. So from this overview, I'm going to pass it on to Thais. She will be explaining more specifically the technical aspects. Thais, are you there?
Yes. Hello, everyone.
Hey.
Can you continue presentation?
Sure. Let me know when you want to pass the slide.
So, as Elena was saying, our plan here as a grantee is to develop a digital wallet using the Interledger protocol ecosystem and potential partners, which will allow users to send and receive money from credit and debit cards anywhere in any currency, and receiving this money through the Brazilian payment method, Pix. So to achieve this goal, we have identified several potential partners who will play a crucial role in the implementation of our digital wallet. One such partner is Rafiki or Finboss, both of whom have user-friendly wallet ecosystems and are open to partner with grant-involved partners in the ILP ecosystem. Another important partner that we have identified is Agnostic Pay, who will connect various partnerships for resources outputs from the Kult platform, including integration with our Brazilian partner, so they can use Pix as a payout option. While we do not depend on Agnostic Pay to be integrated with Pix output, we want to use their services to maybe extend the Pix benefits to the entire ILF Foundation ecosystem. Finally, we have also partnered with Coinect, that is a Brazilian company who will serve as our Pix partner in Brazil. They will receive transaction data via API, process it, and send it to the receiver. This partnership can help us to fill the gap that we have regarding international payments with Brazil. So in conclusion, at Kult, we believe that our plan to implement a digital wallet using the ILP ecosystems and our partners will make the financial transactions easier and more accessible for everyone. So now we can move forward to see like a big picture of how we are thinking regarding the user flow. So imagine that you are a user who wants to watch some content on Kult. First, you're gonna search for the content and access it. If you are interested in watching, you click on it and choose to pay by credit or debit card. Then Kult's gateway process the payment and prepares to send it via Interledger protocol to the receiver's account. Next, the router one, either Rafiki or Finboss, receives and recharges the receiver's account with the resources in the chosen currency. The receiver then chooses a mode to withdraw their gains. However, there may be a minimum value of gains that the user needs to achieve before they can withdraw the resources. At this point, Kult system starts automatically using the API from ILF partner, Agnostic Pay, to redeem the resources. So the router one transfers the resources to Kult's account, and Kult starts using the API from the Pix partner to transfer resources to their ownership. The Brazilian partner, Coinet, then receives the order, checks it, and transfers the resources to the receiver's banking account that is linked to their Pix, their Pix key. In summary, as a user, you just need to search for the content, pay using a credit or debit card, and withdraw your gains after reaching the minimum value. Kult and its partners will handle the technical aspects of processing the payment and transferring the resources to your account. Regarding the costs, we have estimated about $7,000 in half of setup. That includes all the project code, the team, and documentation regarding the project. Regarding the transaction cost, it may vary depending on the currency and the partner we use. We will explore different options to ensure that we are using the most cost-effective method for each transaction. I think from my side that's it, and thank you for your attention. And Elena will continue with the presentation, but if you have any questions about any aspect of our wallet, feel free to contact me. I will also send my email here on the chat, and you can proceed, Elena.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, I'm just gonna finalize with the more business aspect of the use of the technology. In terms of our business plan, our main objectives with this digital wallet is to offer the peer-to-peer monetization of human curation through fair commissions and a frictionless payment method, which is precisely what we are trying to do here with this user flow inside of Kult. The Web3 principles that I mentioned, the community first, the power of the community, user ownership, so the issues with the privacy, the use of sensitive data, and also moderation practices that we believe will come from the community. So if we offer the tools for moderation, the community itself will be self-moderated. And the concept of native payments, which the digital wallet would be this possibility as well. And in terms of our monetization strategy, we will start simple with what we have already experimented from the web monetization grant, the possibility of donations to offer support, tipping to offer rewards. So donations would be a more recurrent payment, and the tipping would be a more sporadic, more like specific for one valuable creation in terms of rewards. And also the monetized galleries to offer exclusive access to content. Eventually, we will also want to add videos to our platform, so it will be even more valuable to have exclusive galleries with videos inside. And in the future, as we are always ambitious, we have other forms of experimenting with the digital wallets, using an ad revenue sharing with the community. So we can use advertising business model, which is the most popular for social media, but in turn, we want to share the revenue among our community. It's ambitious, but we want to try, we want to experiment. Also being a cultural marketplace that can intermediate the selling, buying of digital content, and engage to earn model through gamification. So like we can make challenges, we can offer games challenges, and in turn you can have benefits, discounts, collectibles, and other things. This can also be sponsored by brands. So there is a lot of space here to imagine, to spark creativity. And this is where we're at right now. To finalize, we're not going to get into this, but this is our business model canvas. You can check it out later if you want. And that's it. Thank you so much for listening. These are our emails. If you have questions, if you want to get in touch, we're happy to help. And that's it.
Awesome job. Thank you. Everyone give the digital hand claps. I'll give mine on camera. Just fabulous work. I'll make a couple notes for everybody that you can see both their final report and a copy of that presentation is in the community notes for today's meeting. So you can get to both that. I would highly recommend reading their final report on for that, the work up till now. Max did have one question now. Max, if you want to go ahead and open your mic.
Yes, thank you for the presentation, team. Are you planning to issue like payment pointers within like the wallet? Like if somebody signs up to Kult, like will they have the payment pointer that you will be hosting as well, right? As well as a recommendation platform.
Yes. Helena?
Oh, yeah, Thais, please.
Yes, we are still, this is still an open question for us, but yes, we should use payment points for that. We are starting building some postmans, calls and objects to see how it will working. But yeah, it should be some payment pointers for that. And I don't know, David have a question regarding the average fee for each transaction here. David, as I said before, regarding the average fee, it will depend of a few inputs, but we are taking care to not be a high cost transaction since it is regarding monetization with micropayments.
And then I think, Fernando, why don't you be our last question here before we give a couple quick updates and end our call.
Okay. I'm just curious to know if the Kult platform is planning on hosting the content itself. I mean, are you guys streaming this content and serving as a streaming platform for open streaming platform for content, or is it just a curation part of the process?
So we're more of a content aggregator, but we're not actually streaming the content. So we're going to indicate where you can access the content. But when I said we want to add videos, it's more like, for example, YouTube videos or even like TikTok videos, maybe we're not sure yet, but as a way to research and get more info on the content itself. So for example, if you're searching for a movie, you can find YouTube videos that are talking about this movie to help you choose if you want to watch that movie or not, for example. But we're not actually streaming the content, no.
Okay, great, thank you.
All right, well, thank you, everybody. That was really enjoyed all three of those demos and sort of see a lot of the sort of creative, practical teamwork and advancement really in the ecosystem that's happening. It really has felt like, you know, really since the beginning of the year and even more so in the last like 3 or 4 months, we started to, you know, see some advancement and movement and exciting releases and a broader excitement. So thank you. I think those demos and the share outs today really sort of began to underscore that. Speaking of that, if you've got demos or ideas for share outs, you know, please reach out to Vanille and I. We're programming 1, 2, 3, 4 ahead of these and trying to bring more dynamic content. So please reach out to us if you'd like to be a part of that or have an idea or have any feedback at all. You know, we'd love to hear about how you're experiencing these calls, how they could be better, so on and so forth. And then an important announcement is that next month, so the June version of this call will actually not be on the regular schedule. That's because the Interledger team is going to be doing a staff meeting for those days. And so we're actually moving it to June 21st. We will put a header for this in this community note so that, and we'll be updating folks. But since you're here now, it is going to be June 21st, not June 14th will be the version of this call for June. So slight change means 5 weeks in between. Then, you know, hit on all the regular things. Nice work, Vanille. The Slack channel is probably the easiest way to kind of engage and interact. There's a bunch of different channels on there. You can also create yours, create new ones, and so on and so forth. But that's where the most interaction is going on. Of course, our community forum and other ways to interact. So if you have a question, you have an issue, you want something to share out, you want to brag on something, there's an interesting article you found. There are many ways to begin to share it out and help the community continue to stitch itself together. So with that, we're going to end right on time here. So thank you, everybody. And we will see you in 5 weeks, not 4.
Thanks, everyone.